the 2016 presidential campaign, live from Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Megyn Kelly. In the center of the stage tonight, businessman Donald Trump. One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, you've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. I don't frankly have time for total political correctness.
She's going to move to candidate Donald Trump if you get elected.
Now I have to get elected because I'll be doing a great service to our country. Now it's much more important. In fact, I'll immediately get off this call and start campaigning right now.
I was wondering what you would say to President Obama.
You're fired. Yeah, we ought to fire him. I'd fire his ass right now if I could. True. Our national debt has doubled. It'll be at $20 trillion. Great job. Great job, Obama. Our president doesn't have a clue. He's a bad negotiator. He's weak and he's ineffective and he's not respected.
Give me one positive thing about President Obama.
It's very hard. That's that's the only really tough question you've asked me this morning. F, fail, F. President Obama, I highly think you should read this book quickly. Quickly! We're going to take this country back from these thieves and these crooks and these horrible presidents, these phony presidents.
Do you regret questioning President Obama's citizenship? Why or why not?
Not even a little bit. I don't regret it. Why would I regret it?
Says this is official. He was born in Hawaii on this date. Here it is. Why do you deny that?
Many people do not think it was authentic. His mother was not in the hospital. And frankly, if you would report it accurately, I think you'd probably get better ratings than you're getting, which are pretty small.
He's now our president. He's our president. You have no record. Can't be criticized. Wonderful guy. He's a nice man, but there was no record. Nobody knew who the hell he was. I backed McCain and I backed Romney. McCain lost. Romney lost. I said, damn it, the next time I'm just going to do it myself, right? John McCain goes, oh, boy, Trump makes my life difficult. He had 15,000 crazies show up.
What he did was that he fired up the crazies.
They weren't crazy. They were great Americans. He insulted me, and he insulted everybody in that room. I supported him. He lost. He let us down. So I never liked him as much after that, because I don't like losers. He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. I love the Mexican people. I've had thousands of Mexicans working for me. I sell apartments for millions of dollars to people from Mexico. They love me. They love me. Look at all the Latinos. Thank you, darling. Let me see that sign. I want to see that sign. Two waiters came up to me tonight. Mr. Trump, we love you. I said, where are you from? Mexico. I said, that's great. I love you, too. I love Mexico. But I said, we need a strong border. And by the way, they're coming from all over the world, including the Middle East. Come on in. We're stupid. We'll take care of you. We'll pay. Get sick. We'll take care of your hospitalization. What kind of a plan do you want? 16,500 Border Patrol agents endorsed Donald Trump. They know what's going on. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Their job is much easier now because when they're with me, they're going to be working hard.
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Right now, they just stand there and say, oh, go on through. Hello. Go on through. Welcome to the country, right? We'll take care of you for the rest of your lives.
They say, Donald, you don't really mean we're going to build a wall, do you? And I say, absolutely we're going to build a wall, 100%. Now, the wall is $10 billion to $12 billion if I do it. If these guys do it, it'll end up costing $200 billion.
John, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
You mean it's not politically correct, and yet everybody uses it? No, I'll use the word anchor baby. Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. Poor Jeb Bush. I mean, this poor guy with this low energy. It's sad. No, it's sad. I came up with that term. It became so defining. It's like having it on his forehead. Jeb Bush is a low energy person. For him to get things done is hard. I think Jeb is a nice person. He's very low energy. I'm not used to that kind of a person. Jeb Bush, we call him low energy, low energy. He really is. He's low. He's low. He's low on energy.
You can't just tell Congress you're fired and go to commercial break.
Look, Jeb is a nice guy. He's a stiff, okay? He ought to do what Walker did. Walker
you think he should drop out?
Oh, absolutely. He's no chance. And he's been branded as a low-energy person. I don't know who branded him. Who? I don't know. I can't imagine. When you said low energy for Bush, you defined him so incredibly. It was over. He can have $125 million in the bank. It's over. Who would you rather have negotiate with Iran, Trump or Jeb? And I think you can see I'm having a good time. I really am. You know, they said to Jeb Bush, he was like this. They said, are you having fun? Yes.
I know how to do this.
My father always used to say, son, you've got to take the lumps out. He thought every once in a while I was too tough. Take the lumps out. Be soft. Be a little bit like Jeb Bush every once in a while. Soft.
I will be a commander-in-chief that will have the back of the military.
He can't even put on a tie and jacket. He's running for president.
I won't trash talk.
Jeb. He's asleep.
I won't be a divider-in-chief or an agitator-in-chief. I won't be out there blowharding.
Don't fall asleep when I mention the name, please.
I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country.
You know what's happening to Jeb's crowd, as you know, right down the street? They're sleeping. They're sleeping now.
To get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
And the poll just came out, and I'm tied with Jeb Bush. And I said, oh, that's too bad. How can I be tied with this guy? He's terrible. He's terrible.
I've got to get this off my chest. Donald Trump is a jerk.
He's a man that doesn't want to be doing what he's doing. I call him the reluctant warrior. And warrior is probably not a good word.
I feel better now. I gave myself therapy there. Thank you.
I think Bush is an unhappy person.
Apple Watch. My watch can't be talking.
I don't think he has any energy.
Is it my watch?
Short, tall, fat, ugly. Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
Jeb Bush even said that Donald Trump is out to destroy the Republican Party. What do you think about that?
I think that Donald Trump is a fake. I think he's a fake conservative, and really there's not much about him that is conservative.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway, the people of Kentucky are being used by Rand Paul.
I'd like to also go back to, though, another question, which is Donald Trump a serious candidate?
The people of Kentucky should get a senator that wants to represent them, not a senator where it's a backup plan.
But just calling people stupid or calling them fat or saying they're bleeding, I mean, are just such ridiculous statements.
He's a disaster on military and defense. If I was in Kentucky, I would run against him, and believe me, I'd win.
You know, for a lot of us, it's like watching a car accident instead of focusing on the direction we should be headed. That's a sideshow out there.
I've been nice to Scott Walker.
And Mr. Trump, we don't need an apprentice in the White House. We don't need an apprentice in the White House. We have one right now.
I said, oh, finally I can attack. Finally. Excuse me.
No, we talk about this.
In Wisconsin, you're losing $2.2 billion right now. When the folks of Iowa found out the true facts of the job that you've done in Wisconsin, all of a sudden you tubed. He was number 1, now he's number 6 or 7 in the polls.
I have no respect for her. I don't think she's very good. I think she's highly overrated. She starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Go ahead. No, you don't. You haven't been called. Go back to Univision. Go ahead.
You told me on my radio show that you would release your tax returns. True. Are you going back on your
No, I'm not.
commitment?
First of all, very few people listen to your radio show. That's the good news.
The idea of returning a blow every time you receive one, you know that doesn't work in any high-level situation.
Well, I'm a believer. Perhaps you're not. Maybe that's why your show isn't doing as well as it should be.
Oh,
because
you see,
really
that's
have a
not
better
nice.
show.
Why didn't you read my quote the way I said it?
Sir, I tried to pull it up and I didn't have Wi-Fi.
Well, then you got to get Wi-Fi, okay?
Well,
Don't ask me questions like that. You're not a very good reporter doing that.
You know what? Do this interview with somebody else.
Well, we talked about this yesterday on the phone. This is exactly what we talked about.
Do the interview with somebody else, really. Yeah, you don't need this. Do it with somebody else.
Every poll you're in proves that.
Not to say that you are a protest candidate, because in our recent poll, CNN poll says why they vote for you, 71%. But can you deliver on that when, as you just said, the Ayatollah says...
He ain't talking to you anymore.
You just went. I mean, what are you making a statement or asking me?
No.
This really stupid guy, Chuck Todd. I won't use his name.
Let me let you respond to those poll numbers, which I think that you wanted to respond to.
I didn't want to respond. Your people called my office about 40 times asking me to go onto the show. So it's dishonest what you're saying, Chuck.
I refuse to call him Sleepy Eyes. I'm not going to call him Sleepy Eyes anymore.
You got to tell the truth, Chuck.
Let me ask you about your
Chuck,
debate.
You have to tell the truth.
For immigrants on the whole
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
And going back to last June, is there anything you regret?
Yeah, I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation, as an example. Are you going to ask anybody else a question? Every single question comes to me?
Mr. Trump,
I know I'm good for the ratings, but it's a little bit ridiculous. Doesn't even want to use the Bush name. He's ashamed of the Bush name. You ever see a sign that says Jeb Bush or Bush? Now, there's a reason he doesn't use his last name, because it's not going to work too well. We had a lot of problems with that last name.
I'd love to have your support. Hi.
Absolutely.
I'm Jeb. How are you?
What Jeb Bush has done to the Bush family is very sad. Your brother and your brother's administration gave us Barack Obama because it was such a disaster those last 3 months that Abraham Lincoln couldn't have been elected. Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake. George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty.
He sent a clear signal that the United States would be strong and fight Islamic terrorism, and he did keep us safe.
I don't know, you feel safe right now? I don't feel so safe. The last thing we need is another Bush.
I am sick and tired of him going after my family.
The World Trade Center came down during the reign of George Bush. That's not safe. That is not safe. If you listen to him and you listen to some of the folks that I've been listening to, that's why we've been in the Middle East for 15 years and we haven't won anything. Free trade can be wonderful if you have smart people. But we have people that are stupid. When they send their product here, there's no tax. Come on in. We're the stupid people. Come on in, sell whatever you want. You can win against China if you're smart. But our people don't have a clue. They can't believe how stupid the American leadership is. We give state dinners to the heads of China. They're ripping us left and right. Just take them to McDonald's and go back to the negotiating table. Seriously. I know the greatest negotiators in the world. Some are horrible people, horrible human beings. Who cares? I love them. I like China. People think I don't like China. I love China. I just sold an apartment for $15 million to somebody from China. How can I dislike China? I go to China. China loves me.
We live off Chinese manufacturing, whether we like it or not.
That's because when you say we, you are stupid. They just devalued their currency the other day. They call it a sucking action. They're sucking the jobs and the money right out of our country. That's what they're doing. These dummies say, oh, well, that's a trade war. Trade war? We're losing $500 billion in trade with China. Who the hell cares if there's a trade war? I would certainly start taxing goods that come in from China.
Sorry, sir, you lost, but I do want to understand that.
Oh, it's not that complicated, actually.
Donald Trump's candidacy is a cancer on conservatism, and it must be clearly diagnosed, excised, and discarded.
I see Rick Perry the other day, and he's so, he's doing very poorly in the polls. He put glasses on so people will think he's smart.
Donald Trump does not have the character, nor does he have the temperament.
It just doesn't work. People can see through the glasses.
He offers a barking carnival act.
I have many millions between Facebook and Twitter. It's great. It's like owning a newspaper without the losses. It's incredible. So I tweeted that Rick Perry should have to have an IQ test before getting on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is the system. He and Hillary Clinton are two sides of the same coin. She's made her millions selling access and influence, and he's made his billions buying people like Hillary Clinton off.
Carly was a little nasty to me. Be careful, Carly. Be careful.
Donald Trump isn't a conservative.
But I can't say anything to her because she's a woman, and I don't want to be accused of being tough on women. I can't do that, right?
Trump was watching Fox News with a Rolling Stone reporter for this week's cover story.
Can I do that? Women, am I allowed to fight back? Huh? Am I allowed?
Look at that face. Why would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that's the face of our next president? I mean, she's a woman. I'm not supposed to say bad things, but really, folks, come on. Are we serious?
Ladies, look at this face.
Probably I did say something like that about Carla. I'm talking about persona. I'm not talking about look. Although when I get criticized for my hair, which isn't that bad, nobody does a story about, oh, isn't that terrible? They criticized Donald Trump's hair.
And by the way, look, it really is mine, right? Look at me, right? Right here. Give me a mirror. I promised I wouldn't say that she ran Hewlett-Packard into the ground. I said I will not say it. The company is a disaster and continues to be a disaster. They still haven't recovered. That her stock value tanked, that she laid off tens of thousands of people. In fact, today on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, they fired another 25 or 30,000 people saying we still haven't recovered from the catastrophe. And she got viciously fired. I said I will not say that. Carly was at Lucent before that. And Lucent turned out to be a catastrophe also. So I only say this. She can't run any of my companies.
You were forced to file for bankruptcy not once,
I never filed
not twice, 4 times.
Caesars just filed for bankruptcy. Almost everybody in Atlantic City is either in trouble or filed for maybe I'll blame Chris.
Well,
Atlantic City
Mr. Trump
is a
also...
disaster. Wait a minute, Carly. Wait. I'll let you speak. Why does she keep interrupting everybody? Yeah. Boy. Terrible.
Just maybe I'm getting under his skin a little bit because I am climbing in the polls.
But a new CNN ORC poll shows Fiorina making little progress.
We have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money, I don't need their money, and I'm the only one up here that can say that. Jeb Bush had $168 million put in the bank by lots of different people that would have controlled him, ding, 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 like a puppet.
Standard operating procedure to disparage me. That's fine. I don't really
spend
care.
a little more money on the commercials. And they'll say, they gave you $1 million to your campaign, and this one gave you 5, and this one, you have to do it. You know what he's going to say? Okay, I'll do it. You have lobbyists that have a sign. It says Hillary. It's emblazoned, right? Tattooed. It's tattooed right on their forehead. It says Hillary. Basically, what they're saying is, I control Clinton. Politicians are all talk and no action. It's true. All talk, it's all yet. Politicians are really dishonest. Yeah. We have a breaking story. Donald Trump has fallen to second place behind Ben Carson. We informed Ben, but he was sleeping.
Frankly, he makes Bush look like the Energizer Bunny.
Ben Carson is super low energy, right? It's super. He's super low. He wrote a book. He said he's got pathological disease. Okay. That's a problem to me. If you're pathological, there's no cure for that, folks. As an example, child molester. You don't cure a child molester. There's no cure for it. Pathological, there's no cure for that.
The word pathological, that does not denote incurable. It's not the same.
He said he hit or tried to hit his mother over the head with a hammer. I didn't. Me? Mary McLeod? No way. If you try and hit your mother over the head with a hammer, your poll numbers go up. Read the definition in the dictionary of pathological disease.
It simply is an adjective that describes something that is highly abnormal.
When he said he hit a friend of his in the face with a lock, with a padlock, I say, whoa, that's pretty bad. He took a knife and he went after a friend and he lunged. He lunged that knife into the stomach of his friends, but lo and behold, it hit the belt. And don't forget, this is in his book. I'm not bringing up anything that's not in his book. I have a belt. Somebody hits me with a belt, it's going in because the belt moves this way. It moves this way. It moves that way. How stupid are the people of Iowa? How stupid are the people of the country to believe this crap?
When you talk about Mexicans being rapists and murderers, when you talk to women, if he had spoken to your wife the way he's spoken to some of these women, would you take that, sir?
When you're very nice, you're very respectful, you talk about the real issues, where does it get you? It gets you where it got me. Nowhere, okay?
No. So is that what this is about?
He's very, very weak on immigration. Remember his statement? They come for love. I say, what? Half of them are criminals. I mean, they're coming for love? They're coming for a lot of other reasons.
These are people that are coming to provide for their families. And we should show a little more respect for the fact that they're struggling.
The weakest person on the stage by far on illegal immigration is Jeb Bush. They come out of an act of love, whether you like it or not. He is so weak.
Mr. Trump said, quote, if my wife were from Mexico, I think I would have a soft spot for people from Mexico.
Mi esposa Columba nació en México. Mi familia tiene fuertes lazos con México.
When you were governor, you supported driver's licenses for illegal immigrants, and you supported in-state tuition prices for those children of illegal immigrants that weren't citizens.
Gracias a las personas que vienen de todas partes del mundo, contribuyendo a nuestra economía y comunidad. Porque todos somos americanos.
Did Mr. Trump go too far in invoking your wife?
He did. Why don't you apologize for her?
No, I won't
right
do that
now.
because I said nothing wrong, but I do hear she's a lovely woman.
You could say, I'm sorry as I could be that we did what we did to you.
You know, I haven't been big on apologizing. You do know that, right? They complain Trump never apologizes. I'll look into it. I'm going to look into that. Okay, let's go. One more. Come on. We want a good one. Give me a fun one.
You have criticized Governor Bush for speaking Spanish on the campaign trail.
Eres idiota, o estúpido, o que no tiene energía, o blah, blah, blah.
We have a country where to assimilate, you have to speak English.
This is a diverse country. We should celebrate that diversity. Siempre recordar que todavía no hemos tenido un país de justicia completa.
English, not Spanish. You can get her out, get her out. You know, she looks just like Hillary Clinton. Hillary wants to find out, how do you get these crowds, right?
We don't need Jay-Z to fill up arenas, you know. Get him out. Thank you. Thank you, officer. Thank you. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
I was very gentle. And then they said I was weak. Okay, I was weak. And the last thing I want to be called is weak. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy. Tell her to tuck you in bed. And your mother is voting for Trump. She's voting for Trump. I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy. And they said that wasn't politically correct. Who cares? We all have a weight problem. Yeah, get him out. Get him the hell out of here. Why didn't you do it a little earlier, you dope? I think he's got some problems. Got some little problems here. All right, get him out. Go home and get a job. Get a job. You see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of him, would you? I will pay for the legal fees, I promise. He's walking out like big high fives, smiling, laughing, like to punch him in the face. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Would have been boom, boom, boom. I'll beat that. You have the nicest protesters in Maine. I just said, get out. And he said, yes, sir. And he left. Quiet, quiet, quiet. All right, let him. Come on, quiet. Get out. Thank you. Quiet over there. Even though you're on my side, be quiet. Throw him out. Throw him out into the cold. Don't give them their coat. No coats. Get him the hell out of here. Get him out. Troublemaker. Get him out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Boom, boom. Go home. Get him out of here.
You have one of those guys from the Hillary Clinton campaign. How much are you being paid? $1,500? Take him out.
Come on, get him out, police, please. We'll get more and more angry as we go along. Is that okay?
We're making a deal with Iran, and we're fighting Iran in Yemen. When you make the deal, aren't you supposed to sort of solve everything? And Kerry said he didn't want to bring it up because he didn't want to complicate the negotiation. This guy's an idiot.
$400 million being flown to Iran. This is in cash, in currency. It's a disgrace. I wonder where that money really goes, by the way, right? He doesn't even call to get our hostages back from Iran. Secretary Kerry, I highly think you should read this book quickly. Quickly! Once those hostages landed, about 2 seconds later, fellas, how you doing? Everything good? Listen, the $150 billion? Sorry, we don't have the money. We owe $19 trillion. We don't have it. I mean, here's a guy goes on a bicycle to go on a bicycle race. He's 73 years old. He's in a bicycle race. And he's got all this stuff on. He's got the whole deal. The company's the whole deal, the helmet.
A quick spin through the Swiss Alps following negotiations on Iran's nuclear policy went awry for U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry.
Police! He falls, he breaks his leg during the negotiation.
He was flown by medical helicopter to Geneva's main hospital.
This is our chief negotiator. He's walking in. They're looking at him like, what a schmuck. I swear to you, I will never be in a bicycle race as long as I'm president. I call it a hug mentally. It was unbelievable. He was like a little boy. Oh, I'm with the president. Remember, he flew in the helicopter and he was all excited. I said, I would have put you in my helicopter. It's much nicer. And I watched these two guys, and they're hugging, and they're kissing, and they're holding each other. I actually called. I said, let me ask you, is he going to vote for Obama? I thought he was going to vote for Obama. I don't know. I think it possibly did.
Donald's a great guy and a good person, but I just don't think he's suited to be president of the United States.
Why? And now I guess he feels a little bit emboldened. He must be careful with what he says.
I don't think his temperament is suited for that, and I don't think his experience is.
Chris, tonight we're closing up the George Washington Bridge because the mayor of a certain area is against you. Oh, okay. People couldn't get across for 6-7 hours. Ambulances, fire trucks. He knew about it. He knew about it. He totally knew about it. 9 downgrades of the state. 9 downgrades. It's a disaster. I have property over there. The taxes, I'll use an expression, coming out of my ears, okay? Nabisco leaving Chicago with their big plant. They're moving to Mexico. I'm not eating Oreos anymore. You know that. But neither is Chris. You're not eating Oreos anymore.
And that's why I'm proud to introduce to you the next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Get in the plane and go home.
You got it.
Over here. Go home.
Lion Ted, but you have to spell it right. Lyin apostrophe Lion Ted.
Right now, today, as a candidate, he supports federal taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. I disagree with him on that. That's a matter of principle, and I'll tell you.
You are the single biggest liar. You probably are worse than Jeb Bush. You are the single biggest liar.
Lyin apostrophe.
He's Lion Ted, and, that's his name. And I think, frankly, that name is stuck.
He'll say, Donald Trump wants to absolutely get rid of the Second Amendment. We're going to protect our Second Amendment. This guy...
Why do you
Adults
lie?
learn not to interrupt you.
Why do you lie? Excuse me. I've given my answer, Lion Ted. I've given my answer.
What?
The evangelicals are on my side. They don't like liars. Evangelicals do not like liars.
The Bible held high. He puts it down and then he lies.
Comes here with the Bible, ladies and gentlemen.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today in a spirit of thanksgiving.
Yes, Father.
Bible high. Bible high.
He walks in with the Bible held high, right?
I met a lot tougher people than him, but I never met a guy that lied as much.
This guy's a joke artist, and this guy's a liar. He can't do it for the obvious reason, and he can't do it because he doesn't know how to tell the truth. He puts the Bible down.
Puts it down.
He puts the Bible down.
And then he lies.
And then he lies. Lion Ted Cruz. We know Lion Ted, right? He'll say, I'm the only one that beat Donald Trump. I beat him. But he doesn't say, yeah, he won like 4, and I won like 12 or 13, right? Nobody likes him. I've never seen a guy like this. In fact, have we branded this guy or what?
What's your name? My name's Lion Ted Cruz.
I see him walking into these beautiful corridors in Washington, and guys say, hey, Lion Ted, how you doing? After we win, we got to get that name off his, who wants to go around with that name? Lyin with a little apostrophe. Bing.
Who's going to pay for the wall? Who's going to pay for the wall? I've never done that before. That's actually cute.
10 years ago, everybody wanted the wall. The Democrats, the Republicans. You know one of the reasons they couldn't get it? Environmental impact statements. There were toads.
And then they say, you can't build a wall. It's too big. Well, 3,000 years ago, the Great Wall of China was built. We'd like to have that wall. That wall, nobody gets through. That I can tell you. I will build a better wall, and I'll build it for cheaper, and Mexico will pay, if that's your next question.
Yeah, how do you get Mexico to pay?
Because they are ripping us left and right. Maybe someday they're going to call it the Trump wall, maybe. So I have to make sure it's beautiful, right?
We will build the wall, and Mexico will pay for the wall.
So I get a call from one of the reporters yesterday, and they said, the president of Mexico said,
I'm not going to pay for that wall.
We will never pay for the F-bomb wall. I said, oh, the poor guy, he's going to get killed tomorrow in the papers. Nobody mentioned it.
He should pay for it. He's got the money.
Got any message for the former president of Mexico?
Yeah, get your money ready, because you're going to pay for the wall.
Who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico, 100%.
We will never pay for that wall.
The press calls up. Do you have a comment? I said, yes. Tell him that the wall just got 10 feet taller. Okay, tell him.
You ready? Who's going to pay for the wall?
And Mexico's going to pay for the wall because he knows Mexico needs the U.S. when it comes to trade, just the way the U.S. needs Mexico.
I have to say that I am not going to pay for that wall. I am not.
That wall is getting taller with every interview these ex-Mexican presidents do. Getting taller, taller.
Donald, that Mexico will never pay for that wall.
The wall just got 10 feet taller. Every single time. Gets 10 feet taller, goes up. Goes up, up, up.
10 feet higher.
All these other characters say, oh, they won't pay, because they don't know the first thing about how to negotiate. Trust me, Mexico will pay for it.
If the Mexicans don't pay for the wall, will you start a trade war with Mexico?
Well, I don't mind trade wars when we're losing $58 billion a year. You want to know the truth. Once a choker, always a choker. Is that true? Once a choker, always a choker. I watched a meltdown like I've never, ever seen. And it was Chris grilling Marco Rubio.
And let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
This guy was sweating so badly. Oh, he was sweating. Honestly, it was disgusting.
But I would add this. Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
And then it went a third time, a fourth time, and a fifth time. And I was ready to grab him because I thought he was going down.
This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not true.
There it is.
He knows exactly
what he's doing. There it is, the memorized 25-second speech.
And that was one of the epic meltdowns. He didn't know where he was. I thought he was gonna die. Good going, Chris.
Anyone who believes that Barack Obama isn't doing what he's doing on purpose doesn't understand what we're dealing with here.
He's a choke artist. He chokes. I was standing right next to him. I look over, I say, "Are you okay?" I mean, it looked like he just came out of a swimming pool. He was soaking wet. Marco is not a negotiator. I watched him melt down, and I'll tell you, it was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. When you're a choker, you're always a choker. We can't have that. We can't take any chances in this country. You had to see him backstage. He was putting on makeup with a trowel.
He says that I'm sweating all the time. It's hot in here. Am I sweating now?
I will not say that he was trying to cover up his ears. I will not say that.
And he's over here, and I see him starting to sweat. Thank God he has really large ears, the biggest ears I've ever seen. Because they were protecting him. It was going...
He's always calling me Little Marco. And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me. He's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2". Have you seen his hands?
He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
And you know what they say about men with small hands?
He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem.
Now look, he's got a sign. Show him your hands, Mr. Trump. My hands, look at these hands. These hands hit a golf ball 285 yards. Look at these hands.
Hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody. All you have to do is look at his credit card. I mean, he is a disaster with his credit cards. Here's a guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy.
We have a con artist as the front runner in the Republican Party. A guy who has made a career out of telling people lies.
The real con artist is Senator Marco Rubio, who was elected in Florida and who has the worst voting record in the United States Senate. He doesn't go to vote. He's absent. The people of Florida can't stand him. If he ran in Florida today for an office, he couldn't run for dog catcher. He wouldn't be elected. There is a serious question as to whether or not Ted can do this, okay? Because he was not born on the land. He cannot run for office.
There have been questions raised about the issue of, are you eligible to run for president? You were born in Canada.
He became a United States Senator, and then he said, I didn't know I was a citizen of Canada. Lying Ted, lying Ted.
My mom is a U.S. citizen by birth. She was born in Wilmington, Delaware. Sir, I'll answer your question, but I'm not going to debate you.
You should go out, get a declaratory judgment, let the courts decide.
Sir, okay, next question.
I want to congratulate Ted on Maine. He should do well in Maine because it's very close to Canada, let's face it. I mean, here's the problem. We're running. He does great. I win. I choose him as my vice presidential candidate, and the Democrats sue because we can't take him along for the ride. I don't like that.
What passport?
Donald Trump is saying that you had a Canadian passport.
It's not true.
False.
Yeah.
Never had a Canadian passport in your entire life.
Of course not. No.
And you're sure you asked your mother, you asked your dad, you never had one.
Yes, I'm sure.
Why are you raising this issue now?
Because now he's doing a little bit better. No, I didn't care before. It's true. Now he's doing better. He's got probably a 4 or 5% chance. Bush, he comes out. He goes, well, I don't think that Donald Trump can beat Hillary Clinton, but I can. I say, well, why aren't you beating me?
He supports Democrats. This is not a guy who's a conservative.
I'm a conservative person.
Bush says, I do not believe he's a true conservative. These people are stupid.
The problem with Mr. Trump's language is it's divisive, it's ugly, it's mean-spirited.
Bush said, my tone's not nice. I don't like Donald Trump's tone. You know, he's a low-energy guy, so he doesn't like my tone. I said, tone, we need tone. We need enthusiasm. We need tone. You know, Jeb Bush said, Donald Trump is a gifted politician.
I mean, he's gifted, but he's not.
And what do you make of the fact that he keeps going up in the polls?
I don't think it's going to continue.
My wife said, I thought he was your enemy. Why is he saying that? I said, because he's stupid. What can I tell you? I'm not saying anybody's gifted. I say they're all stiffs. You know, it's easier.
I know how to do this. It is not about trash talk.
2 days ago, he said he would take his pants off and moon everybody, and that's fine. Nobody reports that. He gets up and says that, and then he tells me, oh, my language was a little bit rough. Presidential's easy. You know what presidential is? I walk on. Here's what.
Trump. Just one word.
Loser.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He said that very simply because he has failed in this campaign. It's been a total disaster. Nobody cares. Now, there's only a microphone. I thought somebody threw something at me. I was saying, is that Jeb? Well, I would say Jeb Bush is a frequent target because when this whole thing started, I thought he was going to be the primary competition. But he's drifted very much to the middle of the pack, and he's rapidly disappearing. So we're going to have to start looking at somebody else. We are in a rigged system, and a big part of the rigging are these dishonest people in the media. Without the media, Hillary Clinton couldn't be elected dog catcher. The political press is among the most dishonest people that I've ever met. They don't want to give it straight because the press are liars. They're terrible people. Of course, you're excluded, Carl. But I think the political press, you're in the middle. Whoa. Whoa. The most dishonest people in the world. Look at them. Look at them all back there. Most dishonest people. Scavengers. They're like scavengers. That's wrong. They were wrong. It's the New York Times. They're always wrong. The New York Times, which is, forget it. I call it the failing New York Times. People across the border, rapists and murderers. No. We're talking about illegal immigration. You're with Telemundo, and Telemundo should be ashamed. And I'll tell you something. What's really going to be fun? I'm right now suing Univision for $500 million. All these maniacs back there, the press, they are the worst. Like this sleazy guy right over here from ABC. He's a sleaze in my book. You're a sleaze because you know the facts, and you know the facts well. The most dishonest human beings. These people right here. Look at all the cameras. No, they're the worst.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Has anyone ever heard of Lindsey Graham? He's constantly on television. Lindsey Graham, a total dope. I'm at 38, I think, in South Carolina. He's at 3. He's a senator.
And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
And I said, wait a minute. That's the guy that I defeated so badly that he went home and he started to cry, okay? He started to cry.
Don't be the world's biggest jackass.
And I watched this idiot Lindsey Graham on television today, and he calls me a jackass.
He's a jackass.
He's a jackass. And he calls me a jackass. I'm supposed to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. You know, I'm working hard to be nice. In the private sector, he couldn't get a job, believe me. You know what I'm saying to myself, what's this guy, a beggar? He's like begging me to help him with Fox and Friends. He said, could you mention my name? I said, yes, I'll mention. And he gave me his number, and I found the card. I wrote the number down. I don't know if it's the right number. Let's try it. 202-228-0292. I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, it's 3-4 years ago, so maybe it's an old number. 202-228-0292. I don't know. Give it a shot. Your local politician, you know? He won't fix anything, but at least he'll talk to you. So a poll came out the other day. He was at 0.
Why do you think, Senator Graham, then, that he's rising in the polls?
Oh, I think that's the beginning of the end has come.
Yeah, the beginning of the end. He actually probably seems to me not as bright, honestly, as Rick Perry.
Can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
Yeah.
I would do away with the education, commerce.
If you really want to make Hillary Clinton president of the United States, vote for Donald Trump. Dishonest beats crazy.
The third one I can't. Oops.
I think Rick Perry probably is smarter than Lindsey Graham, but what do I know?
Senator, you seem angry.
I am really pissed.
I'm beating him awfully badly in the polls.
But you're not beating Hillary.
If I can't beat her, you're really going to get killed, aren't you?
He didn't do well in the debates against me. According to every poll, every poll, just great debater, except he lost in every single poll in every single debate.
Headline, Trump way up, Cruz going down. They don't like the Wall Street Journal, they don't like NBC, but I like the poll.
Just read an article that Cruz is working really hard to, I don't want to use the word bribe, but to bribe.
On his financial disclosure form, he didn't even put that he's borrowed money from Citibank and from Goldman Sachs, which is a total violation.
Then he pretends like, oh, I have nothing to do with the oil industry. I have nothing to do with the banking industry.
For 40 years, you've been funding liberal Democratic politicians. And by the way,
I funded you.
The
I
reason
funded him.
You're welcome to have the check back.
I funded this guy.
Because let's
I gave
be clear.
him a check.
Values in New York City focus around money and the media.
We rebuilt downtown Manhattan, and everybody in the world loved New York and loved New Yorkers. That was a very insulting statement that Ted made. Nasty guy. Now I know why he doesn't have one endorsement from any of his colleagues. He's a nasty guy. They asked Ted Cruz, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. She just said a terrible thing. Shout it out, because I don't want to... She said... I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. Terrible. The biggest in the world, the Chinese bank. Don't worry about that baby. I love babies, though. I love babies. I hear that baby crying. I like.
They said I threw a baby out. It turned out I didn't throw out a baby.
Actually, I was only kidding. You can get the baby out of here.
In fact, the mother went on television saying how she loves me. I said to my kids, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. Raise your hands, kids. I promise Donald J. Trump that I will never take drugs. I don't want to say no alcohol, but take it easy on the alcohol, right?
They spent, listen to this, $1 million on ads against me in Iowa. They used the best pictures. I look so good in those pictures. I'm trying to find where they got them. Because they're stupid. I was like a young guy. I look so handsome. I said to myself, oh, I wish I still looked like that. It would be great. I love you too, man. It's a guy, but I love him. I love him. I love everybody here. I don't care. I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? We won with young. We won with old. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Let's do a USA chant. USA, USA, USA.
He's a weak person, and honestly, that's not what we need. We need somebody that's strong that can get things done. He's a weak person. You can't have that. We don't need a weak person being president of the United States, okay? Because that's what we'd get if it were Jeb. I call him a low-energy person, so now he wants to be a tough guy. It doesn't work.
A tough business to
I
run for president.
know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is
Real tough.
You're never going to be president of the United States
tough,
by insulting
Jeb,
your way to the
let's
presidency.
see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3. You started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
I said, Jeb, you're not going to be here much longer. You're pretty far down there, Jebba. You're not going to be here much longer, Jeb. You got to get tougher, Jeb.
Simple fact is, if you think this is tough and you're not being treated
This
fairly,
isn't tough and easy.
imagine what it's going to be like dealing with Putin
always
or
as
dealing
easy
with
as you,
President
Jeb.
Xi.
Jeb Bush, who's a total stiff, by the way, a total stiff.
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
So,
Little of your own
again,
medicine there.
I know you're trying to
Governor
build
Bush,
up your energy,
please.
Jeb, but it's not working.
How about a chest bump?
I thought he was very weak in the debate. He opened very badly. He closed very badly.
You got Hillary Clinton to go to your wedding because
true.
you gave her money.
True. He had a couple of sound bites that were given to him by his people. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. Yeah. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to...
Jeff, Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that. Jeb Bush, let's say he's president. Ay, ay, ay. With Jeb's attitude, we will never be great again. That I can tell you.
You know, little Marco, he's a little, L-I-D-D-L-E, little Marco. I looked at this picture. Marco Rubio looked like he was about 4'2" tall. If you put like little Rubio up there and he's president, they'll say, Mr. President. I think Marco is highly overrated. Highly overrated. He doesn't have it. He's a lightweight. Everyone said, oh, Rubio, he's the next Reagan. He's no Reagan, that I can tell you.
Let me begin by congratulating President Obama on the start of his second term.
When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe?
On foreign policy, America continues to be indispensable to the glow of global liberty.
And he's talking. I notice. I say, man, is he sweating?
Glow of global liberty.
I need water. Help me. I need water. Help.
Then false choices like the one the president laid out tonight.
And he's off screen. I said, where is he? It's Rubio.
I'm just glad the water was nearby. I don't know what I would have done without it.
Can you imagine Putin sitting there and waiting for the meeting, and this guy walks in and he's like a wreck?
And he's soaking wet and sweating. Hello? Hello? Can I have some water? And Putin's sitting there. What the hell kind of stuff is this? This is not exactly a poker player, folks.
You got to have Trump walk into that meeting, folks. We'll do very nicely. We're going to do very nicely.
While it is not God's plan that I be president in 2016 or maybe ever, and while today my campaign is suspended,
They said, Mr. Trump, the Pope just made some statements about you. I said, the Pope? What do I have to do with the Pope?
A person who thinks only about building walls and not building bridges is not Christian. This is not in the gospel.
For a religious leader to question a person's faith is disgraceful.
The Pope is hitting me just before the election in South Carolina.
If and when the Vatican is attacked by ISIS, I can promise you that the Pope would have only wished and prayed that Donald Trump would have been president. Bush is 1% in Nevada. Why doesn't he just give up, just go home? Go home. Go home to mom.
To help convince the voters, he brought a secret weapon here.
I think you might want to say hello to somebody.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you? He's honest, dependable, loyal, relatively funny, good looking.
Jeb had 17, now he's down to 2. Okay, after spending 100, wasting 100 million. His last ad, he uses his mother in the end.
His heart is big. When push comes to shove, people are going to realize Jeb has real solutions.
You're going to have to get out there yourself, Jeb.
He's so polite. We brought him up that way.
Weak, pathetic people. Low energy is a better term, right? Low energy.
I don't advise him, but if I gave him advice, I would say, why don't you interrupt like the other people do?
Really?
Yes, I would say that.
Jeb, your mother can't help you with ISIS. She can't help you with China. She can't help you with these people, Jeb. You got to do it yourself.
Jeb is the nicest, wisest, most caring, loyal, disciplined.
He tried the mother, who's a very nice lady, I'm sure, but he tried the mother. That didn't work out so good.
Mrs. Bush, what do you think of Donald Trump?
I'm sick of him.
My mom finally told me that I was her favorite.
Oh, no, I didn't. You mean of all the children?
Yeah.
No.
A woman came up to me. She said, I'm not sure that you're nice enough to be president. I said, you know what? This is not going to be an election based on a nice person. It's going to be based on a competent person. We're tired of the nice people.
Tonight, I am suspending my campaign. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Boom, boom. Walker gone. This one gone. Bush gone. Low energy. Bush gone. All gone. CNN did a focus group. They got caught trying to find people so they could give a phony vote. CNN is a disgrace. Oh, they just turned off their camera.
You keep calling us the dishonest press, the disgusting press.
Well, generally speaking, that's 100% true. Go ahead.
CNN is so disgusting. CNN.
The public gets it, you know. Look, when I go to rallies, they turn around, they start screaming at CNN. They want to throw their placards at CNN. People don't trust you, and the people don't trust the media. The panel is almost exclusive anti-Trump, and the hatred and venom.
But you know the good thing? Nobody's watching them anyway, so probably.
A lot of folks in the media would love to see Donald and me get in a giant food fight. I'm certainly not going to engage in that. I hope Donald won't either.
Trump retweeted this image. Cruz's wife in an unflattering pose next to Melania Trump.
When I saw somebody tweeted a picture of Melania and a picture of Heidi.
With the caption, "No need to spill the beans, the images are worth 1,000 words."
An enraged Ted Cruz looking right into our camera to deliver this message to Donald Trump.
Donald, you're a sniveling coward, and leave Heidi the hell alone.
I have to tell you, I think Heidi Cruz is a great person. I think it's the best thing he's got going, and his kids, if you want to know the truth.
Leave Heidi the hell alone.
So will you support him as the nominee?
I'm going to beat him.
He was asked today about a National Enquirer story claiming he has had 5 mistresses.
This National Enquirer story is garbage. It is complete and utter lies. And it is a smear that has come from Donald Trump and his henchmen. It is a story that quoted one source on the record, Roger Stone, Donald Trump's chief political advisor. He's a man for whom a term was coined for copulating with a rodent. Donald Trump may be a rat, but I have no desire to copulate with him.
Pronounce his name Kasich. It's I-C-H. Every time I see it, I say Kasich, but it's pronounced Kasich.
To ship 11 million people who are law-abiding.
You know, can we ask him to change the spelling of his name? Are we allowed to do that?
To Mexico, think about the families. Think about the children. Makes no
All
sense.
I can say is you're lucky in Ohio that you struck oil. That's for one thing. I have a new nickname for him. 1 for 41.
People say, why does he stay in the race?
Here's a guy that just says, I'm going to stay.
I don't believe Donald Trump is going to be the nominee.
Like if you have a child who's a spoiled brat.
What, am I supposed to get out and leave it to these guys?
I don't care, Daddy. Get out of the room, Daddy. I don't care.
He has a news conference all the time when he's eating. I have never seen a human being eat in such a disgusting fashion.
He's stuffing pancakes in his mouth like this.
I never saw bites this big.
And I'm always telling my boy, take small bites, Barrett, little tiny bites.
My son, he was watching. He said, Daddy, look. I said, don't watch. It's disgusting.
Then they talk about presidential. This is not a presidential person.
Do you want that for your president? I don't think so.
Are you ruling out voting for Donald Trump?
It's very, very likely I will not.
Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud. His promises are as worthless as a degree from Trump University.
Mitt is a failed candidate. He failed.
He's playing the members of the American public for suckers.
I had no idea that we'd have millions of more votes than we had when we had that stiff Mitt Romney, a total stiff, running.
He gets a free ride to the White House, and all we get is a lousy hat.
Who, by the way, he's a dope. He's not a smart person.
When you walk into a stage, you cannot walk like a penguin. He walked like a penguin. I said, this is a problem.
Mr. Trump is a con man, a fake.
That was an election that he should have won, and he lost. And he should just go away and let the big boys do it now.
Watch, by the way, how he responds to my speech today.
He was begging for my endorsement. I could have said, Mitt, drop to your knees. He would have dropped to his knees.
How can any kind of socialist win a general election in the United States?
Well, we're going to win because first we're going to explain what democratic socialism is.
I never thought we'd see the day in our country when a communist
I think we should look to countries like Denmark, like Sweden, and Norway.
Is the leading Democrat. We're going to have a communist against an entrepreneur. I like the entrepreneur, right?
I have far more votes than anybody, including Hillary, because I had 17 people. She had Bernie. Lou, you guys aren't big into socialism or communism, are you?
He is nuts. He is a total nut job. We're going to give this, we're going to give that, we're going to give that. She's the poor woman. She's got to give everything away because this maniac that was standing on her right is giving everything away, so she's following. That's what's happening. A couple of young women took over the microphone from Bernie a month ago, right?
I would like to welcome you to this place called Seattle, which is actually occupied Duwamish land.
They took it over and he was like this, huh?
If you do not listen to her, your event will be shut down right now. Right now. Your decision.
He is not stopping ISIS, I will tell you.
Trump has got to get on the TV and tell his supporters that violence in the political process in America is not acceptable. End of discussion.
Some of your supporters in Chicago were acting violently as well.
Look, it's a Bernie person. It's a Bernie. Hello, Bernie. Hey, Bernie, get your people in line, Bernie.
Bernie! Bernie, where are you, Bernie? Oh, we love Bernie.
Socialists, and you're one of those, want the government to run the economy.
Democratic socialist, yeah.
He gets a little nasty and a little cranky every once in a while.
And socialists want the government to run the economy.
One thing about Bernie, he doesn't give up. This guy doesn't give up. This socialist / communist, okay? Nobody wants to say it. He's waiting for really the FBI to do what everybody thinks they're going to do. I mean, I think that's... He's sort of saying, look, let's hang in there, because ultimately it's called the FBI convention. And then we'll be the only people, and we will have done something like Trump did. I want to be like Trump. I want to be like Trump.
I exhort every member of the body of Christ to vote for the candidate that stands on the Word of God. I am convinced that man is my son, Ted Cruz. The alternative could be the destruction of America.
And it's disgraceful that his father can go out and do that. You look at so many of the ministers that are backing me. I'm winning the evangelical vote.
Donald Trump went on national television and attacked my father.
His father. I don't know his father. I met him once. I think he's a lovely guy.
His father was with Lee Harvey Oswald prior to Oswald's being shot. What was he doing with Lee Harvey Oswald before the shooting? It's horrible.
Donald Trump alleges that my dad was involved in assassinating JFK.
All I did is point out the fact that on the cover of the National Enquirer, there was a picture of him and crazy Lee Harvey Oswald having breakfast.
The tabloid claims this man is Ted Cruz's father, Raphael, handing out leaflets with Oswald in August 1963, 3 months before President Kennedy was assassinated.
I guess I should go ahead and admit, yes, my dad killed JFK. He is secretly Elvis, and Jimmy Hoffa is buried in his backyard.
Now, Ted never denied that it was his father. They're not saying, oh, that wasn't really my father. It's a little hard to do, because it looks like him.
The National Enquirer has become his hit piece that he uses to smear anybody and everybody.
This had nothing to do with me, except I might have pointed it out.
Do you want your children coming home and saying, Mommy, I don't need to ask God for forgiveness for anything?
Lion Ted does not have the temperament to be doing this.
Everyone likes him. All the media praises him. I don't need to either.
He is choking like a dog because he's losing so badly. We have to put him away tomorrow, folks.
introduce to you my friend and the next Vice President of the United States, Fiorina.
She left at 0. Okay, she had 0. She had like 1 or 0. She had nothing going.
Let me choose Carly. Maybe that'll turn it around.
For the first time in the history of American politics, a man who is totally mathematically dead, he cannot win, has appointed a vice president.
Carly, we're doing great. We're going to win. Let's go. Be my vice president.
By the way, she fell off the stage the other day. Did anybody see that?
And the next president of the United States, Ted Cruz.
She just went down. She went down a long way, right? And Cruz didn't do anything.
Ted Cruz.
Even I would have helped her, okay? No, it's true.
The voters chose another path. We are suspending our campaign. Vote your conscience. Vote for candidates up and down the ticket.
I don't want his endorsement. What difference does it make? I don't want his endorsement.
Who you trust to defend our freedom and to be faithful to the Constitution.
Honestly, he may have ruined his political career. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Now I can focus on Hillary, that crook. I can focus on Hillary.
Mr. Trump finally unveiled his nickname for Mrs. Clinton.
Crooked Hillary, folks. She's been crooked from the beginning. Hillary Clinton is a crook.
That's negative.
I call her Crooked Hillary. She's Crooked Hillary. Crooked. She's crooked as you can be. Crooked Hillary.
Crooked? Oh, is she crooked? Is she crooked?
Lying, crooked Hillary.
I have a list. Look, page after page of the lies.
Look, she's been proven to be a liar on so many different ways.
What difference at this point does it make?
This is just another lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie. Dirty, rotten liar. Now she's blaming the lie on the late, great Abraham Lincoln. Honest Abe never lied. That's the good thing. That's the big difference between Abraham Lincoln and you. She's a world-class liar. Just look at her pathetic email server statements.
I did not email any classified material.
Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified. Was that true?
That's not true.
How do you lie to the FBI and now you're running for president? How does that happen?
I wanted to just use one device for both personal and work emails instead of two.
I have an iPad, a mini iPad, an iPhone, and a BlackBerry.
We're talking about the safety of our people. The laws are very explicit.
Did you wipe the surface? What, like with a cloth or something? Well, no. I don't know how it works digitally at all.
Stupidity is not a reason that you're going to be innocent, okay? It's not a reason. There has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. Crooked Hillary Clinton. Here's what gives me, well, be quiet. I know you want to, save her. Hillary's running for a lot of reasons. One of them is because she wants to stay out of jail.
They will say the greatest achievement of Hillary Clinton was getting out of this problem with emails. Nobody could have got it. Houdini couldn't have gotten out.
Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me."
Are going to march our nasty feet to cast our nasty votes to get you out of our lives forever.
She's got this goofy friend named Elizabeth Warren. She's on her Twitter ad. She's a goofus. She is a goofus.
Elizabeth Warren today on social media went after you, calling you a loser. How are you going?
Who's that, the Indian? You mean the Indian? She said she was an Indian. She said because her cheekbones were high, she was an Indian. Who, Pocahontas? Pocahontas? Well, no, she's...
Very offensive.
You tell me. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Pocahontas? She's been going around pretending that she's a minority, right? And she's getting into colleges and she's doing all sorts of things. She's a total phony.
Do you regret calling her Pocahontas? Do you regret that?
I do regret calling her Pocahontas because I think it's a tremendous insult to Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, right.
So to Pocahontas, I would like to apologize to you.
The housing meltdown because it meant he could buy up more property on the cheap. What kind of a man does that?
She's one of the worst senators in the entire United States Senate. She's gotten practically nothing done. If it was up to her, you'd have taxes at 95%. She's got a big mouth, and that's about it. But they use her because Hillary's trying to be very presidential. She's stopping with the shouting, okay? Honestly, I think she hurt Hillary Clinton very badly. I watched those speeches, the anger, the hatred in her heart.
I got news for you, Donald Trump. Women have had it with guys like you.
She was getting up with that craziness and that anger.
He thinks that because he has a mouth full of Tic Tacs, that he can force himself on any woman within groping distance.
Pocahontas would not be proud of her as her representative, believe me. Now, I hope she runs with Hillary, because I would like to take them out. I'll tell you. I think she's as Native American as I am, okay? I'm doing such a disservice to Pocahontas. It's so unfair to Pocahontas. She doesn't have the look. She doesn't have the stamina. You've seen me. I've been all over the place. You decided to stay home, and that's okay. She always just reads off the teleprompter. And it's short, and then she goes home and she goes to sleep. To watch her is like Somonex. You ever hear of Somonex? Sleep all night. Bing.
Flying above Times Square, it's Super Trump on a digital billboard for 3 days.
Always teleprompters. Donald Trump does not have the temperament to be president.
Donald Trump's tone is very tough. That's what we need. We need tough tone. She's supposed to fight all of these different things, and she can't make it 15 feet to her car. Give me a break. I'll do 7, 8, 9 stops. I'll make 3 or 4 major speeches. She makes a speech for 15 minutes. She goes home, goes to bed.
3 days later, she gets up and she does another one and goes back home and goes to sleep.
She has less energy than Jeb Bush.
Oh boy, is ISIS hoping for her.
I was watching television in Florida, and I said, there's no way I can win. Every single ad is a negative ad, and most of them are false. There was a little truth to some of them, I'll be honest.
Is that a wig? It really was shocking to see it.
Boy, oh boy, she's become like a marshmallow.
It was massive. You know, her hair became massive.
$505 billion. And by the way, I don't like this mic. Whoever the hell bought this mic system, don't be the son of a bitch to put it in, I'll tell you. We're outside. So, Fire Marshal, will you let the people in, please? I assume the Fire Marshal's a Democrat, I assume. If we're attacked, Japan doesn't have to do nothing. They can sit home and watch Sony television, right? Are you saying you're not going to protect them? I say, well, let me ask you, have they paid? Look at that guy over there. Wow. Bring him up. Where's your daddy and your mommy, right? Do you want to go back to them or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Trump.
These teleprompters haven't been working for the last 20 minutes. And I actually like my speech better without teleprompters. Never in history has a major party presidential candidate so viciously demonized the American voter.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
My wife and I represent non-deplorable people.
The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
We are not racist at all.
There's so much more that I find deplorable.
Do I look deplorable? No. What?
They're offensive, hateful, mean-spirited.
I am a wife, a mother. I work full time, and I am voting for Donald Trump and Mrs. Clinton. You can go home.
Unfortunately, there are people like that.
We are going to make America great again, and Hillary needs to take a nap.
And he has lifted them up.
After all the horrible scandals that Hillary Clinton's been involved in, and then she has the gall to call us deplorable.
They are irredeemable, but thankfully they are not America.
USA.
We have a divided nation because people like her, and believe me, she has tremendous hate in her heart. America must reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, who sees communities of color only as votes, not as human beings worthy of a better future.
I have no doubt that I am Bill Clinton's son. Everyone in Arkansas knew. Everywhere I went, they point, that's Bill Clinton's son right there. He looked like him, don't he? In 1995, when my father was president of the United States, the state of Arkansas put us in foster care. We was house to house, hungry at nights.
I met with a small group of the Black Lives Matter activists.
If she sings Black Lives Matter, why I don't matter to her?
Devastating what's happening to our inner cities. She's been talking about it for years. As usual, she talks about it, nothing happens. The San Bernardino shooter, she was here on a fiancé visa. Isn't that nice? Oh, fiancé, wonderful fiancé. When people are shooting their friends in California, when they're shooting their friends, bye, bye, goodbye. If some of those wonderful people had guns strapped right here, and this son of a bitch comes out and starts shooting, boom, boom, you know what? That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight, folks. Our country's so politically correct that we're going to hell. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
We now have proposals from the presumptive Republican nominee for president of the United States to bar all Muslims from emigrating to America.
I watched President Obama today, and he was more angry at me than he was at the shooter.
You told CNN, quote, Islam hates us. Did you mean all 1.6 billion Muslims?
I mean a lot of them. I mean a lot of them.
I will gladly lend you my copy.
If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that.
What's the father of the man responsible for the Orlando massacre doing at a Hillary Clinton rally?
How did you like that picture? Him sitting, 49 people killed.
We are unified. If you're with me, please, let's go out.
Of course he likes Hillary, because Hillary won't even say the words radical Islamic terrorism.
Hillary Clinton, through her incompetence, created ISIS. And now she wants to get rid of it. She says, yes, we will fight ISIS. She's the one that created it. With stupid, stupid policy.
Well, at least I have a plan to fight ISIS.
No, you're telling the enemy everything you want to do. No wonder you've been fighting ISIS your entire adult life.
You saw Hillary say last night, you don't know more than the generals.
Well, I'll tell you, the generals aren't doing so well right now. I would bomb the out of them. I'm going to bomb the out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. You got to knock them out. Knock them the hell out. And ISIS now is building a hotel in Iraq. They're competing with me. You believe it? Just spent $1 million building a soccer field for our prisoners that happen to be in Guantanamo. What do you need $1 million for? Level out the surface. Let them play. Secretary of State in the history of our nation. Why would she be a good president? I think she'd be a terrible president. Hillary has experience, but it's bad experience. She has been outsmarted and outplayed worse than anybody I've ever seen in any government whatsoever.
I think he has shown that he is dangerous.
She talks about me being dangerous. She's killed hundreds of thousands of people with her stupidity. 30 years you've been doing it, and now you're just starting to think of solutions. If you were an effective senator, you could have done it, but you were not an effective.
Please allow her to respond.
She doesn't do anything about anything other than talk. With her, it's all talk and no action.
Why did Hillary get rid of her middle name? Hillary Rotten Clinton, right? Maybe that's why. It's too close.
You come in from China, you see these incredible airports. We don't have the money because it's been squandered on so many of your ideas.
I want to see a woman become president, but it can't be her. She's a disaster.
Hillary is so corrupt. She got kicked off the Watergate Commission.
Payroll contribution will go up, as will Donald's, assuming he can't figure out how to get out of it. But what we want to do is to replenish the Social Security Trust Fund. One of the worst things he said was about a woman in a beauty contest. He called this woman Miss Piggy.
She went up from about 118 to about 170 pounds. It was incredible.
And you can bet she's going to vote this November.
Okay, good.
At one point, she was actually an eating machine. Somebody said, gee, that's not a very nice thing to say, but it's true.
He'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty clear you won't admit
No, you're
that the
puppet.
Russians.
I'm watching television, and I see her barking like a dog.
John Podesta said you have terrible instincts. Bernie Sanders said you have bad judgment. I agree with both. I have much better judgment than she does. There's no question about that. I also have a much better temperament than she has.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail. All you have to do is take a look at WikiLeaks, because Bernie Sanders, between superdelegates and Deborah Wasserman Schultz, he never had a chance. And I was so surprised to see him sign on with the devil.
We have got to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine.
You know, Bernie Sanders would have been a legend. He would have gone down as a legendary figure in history if he didn't make the deal with the devil. But he made a deal with her, and now he's just another guy.
My Bernie, my poor Bernie. Oh, Bernie, I feel so badly for Bernie.
Bernie Sanders has, to use an old word that I use on occasion, he's lost his energy. He wants to go home and go to sleep.
But you know what? A lot of Bernie Sanders supporters are going to be voting for Trump.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Remember what he said? He did not have sex with that woman. Oh, I'm so glad they kept the dress. Hillary Clinton's only loyalty is to her financial contributors and to herself. I don't even think she's loyal to Bill. You want to know the truth. Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum. I love you very much.
Remember 3 weeks ago? Donald Trump is sexist. I brought her husband into the equation, right?
Whitewater, impeachment, lies. He didn't have sex with that woman. 2 months later, he's going,
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate.
Bill Clinton was abusive to women. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women and attacked them viciously. 4 of them here tonight. These 4 very courageous women have asked to be here. Okay.
Hi, I'm Juanita Broderick, and I'm here to support Donald Trump. Actions speak louder than words. Mr. Trump may have said some bad words, but Bill Clinton raped me, and Hillary Clinton threatened me. I don't think there's any comparison.
Hillary was an enabler, and she treated these women horribly.
I think it's disgraceful, and I think she should be ashamed of herself.
And she's going to take ads about little Donald Trump?
I was with Donald Trump in 1980. I was sitting with him on an airplane.
Did he actually kiss you?
Yeah. Wherever he could find a landing spot, yes.
Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you. Man.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States. At least I will go down as a president.
How about Obama? I don't think you people like our president too much.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president. And the reason is because I have a lot of faith in the American people.
I think he's the worst president maybe in the history of our country. I think he's been a disaster. He's been weak. He's been ineffective. You look at this so-called recovery, it's setting record lows.
I think the Republican nominee is unfit to serve as president.
Our borders are like Swiss cheese. This man has done such a bad job. He has set us back so far.
I'd advise Mr. Trump to stop whining.
The premiums are going through the roof. The deductibles, frankly, you have to get hit with a Komatsu tractor in order to use them. They're so high.
Suddenly he's acting like he's a populist out there. Man, I'm going to fight for working people. Come on, man.
$5 billion we spent on a website. I hire people. They do a website. It costs me $3.
We go. This is a Fox News election alert. Pennsylvania goes to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
1 year ago, what started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
The fake media tried to stop us from going to the White House, but I'm president and they're not.
How about when a major anchor who hosted a debate started crying when she realized that we won?
Donald Trump is democratically elected. If you have a son in the Marine Corps, the people in the military defend.
Tears. No, tell me this isn't true.
If you look at it, even if you look at our 6 toss-up states on the board right now, even if Donald Trump won them all, he'd still be short.
You watch John King, the hand is shaking, quivering. Donald Trump has won Wisconsin.
Donald Trump has won Michigan.
Oh, you can see he's like getting ready to throw up all over them.
And then they're looking at the map, they're saying, oh, wow, there's no way for Hillary Clinton to become president. Donald Trump is president of the United States. Oh.
Preserve, protect, and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking our news organization. Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you...
I hate some of these people, but I'd never kill them. I would never kill them. I would never kill them. I would never do that.
Go ahead. Can you state categorically, Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question? You're attacking...
Such lying, disgusting people. It's true. It's true.
Can you give us a question?
Don't be...
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically...
You are fake news. No, I wouldn't. I would never kill him.
Just because of the attack of fake news, and I just want to ask you, sir...
I'm changing it from fake news, though.
Doesn't that undermine...
Very fake news.
I know.
This is CNN.
Bloody fake news.
Sir, you and everybody else say it's not a ban. The president just proved what the truth is. All this has been spin and a distraction. Why?
Chris, this is where your spin fails. This is where the fake news propaganda collapses.
Hold on.
This
Do we
isn't about a new
have
media.
to
This
write
isn't
the
about a new
rules of
technology.
dignity? Of decency? Do we have to rewrite the rules of decency, Scott?
Do I think a presidential tweet here would be a nice gesture? Absolutely, 100%. I do.
If you can't control your tweeting habits, you crazy lunatic 70-year-old man baby, then stop tweeting. Go seek therapy. Go knit. Find a hobby.
Late last night, the president tweeted, "Despite the constant negative press, covfefe. I don't believe we as a nation have reached consensus on the exact pronunciation of covfefe."
No, you're absolutely right.
No,
But
I
that
don't
is
know if you
exactly
really
why
mean
he
them.
apologized. Let's
Are
talk
you
about
talking about
Libya,
Bill
the
Clinton's
Russian
sexual
reset.
past?
Let's talk about her using a level anti-humanitarian
I
crisis.
can't, because
thanks
Donald
to
Trump
that red
isn't
line in the
talking about
sand.
I want to talk to Dana Bash now. Dana, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's very disturbing the way this president views a free press calling fake news, and its exercise under the First Amendment to the Constitution.
CNN found the Reddit user who created the wrestling video and where he punches CNN. He had become addicted to the hate, addicted to the ginning up.
He then decided
Good
to
enough.
apologize.
I
because of
get
hate.
you, but a lot of people don't apologize.
That there is libel. To suggest that a woman murdered an ambassador, for God's sake, please give us a break.
A source close to former FBI Director James Comey tells me that there are two reasons why President Trump fired Comey. One,
this is the mode of a bullshit artist. He comes back with a certain bravado and tries to explain it away with a tweet or a statement. It's sort of amusing to watch how is he going to pull it off this time.
I think that the average person at home probably doesn't understand.
If you like Donald Trump and you have very low standards, you're happy today, right? Because it turned out that there wasn't a huge bombshell.
So you think it was deliberate that he tweeted this very?
No, I think he really has no impulse control. He gets mad at somebody and he just fires it off.
You know, this week he's coming after CNN. Next week it could be your news organization.
It could be Fox, it could be MSNBC, it could be ABC, it could be NBC.
That's right. We're going to do the news.
Tell the truth, right.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the news. The rest will take care of itself.
We sacrifice journalism for ratings. CNN is not journalism at all. We are elitist and arrogant and have grown out of touch with the real people we cover. At CNN, journalism itself, at its best, it is propaganda.
This is CNN. Bloody fake news.
We're going to win with trade. We're going to win with health. We're going to win at so many levels.
We're going to have win after win after win.
You're going to get so tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. We can't take this much victory. Please stop. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more.
We're going to keep winning 100%. America first.
We're going to make our country great again. We're going to win. We're going to win. And we're going to win. You will be so happy.
I love you. Thank you very much, everybody.
I love you. Thank you. We are going to win. I think the reason I have this tremendous support is because you know what? A lot of it's common sense, okay? A lot of it's common sense. It's not even like, you know, you could say he's a great businessman. A lot of it's common sense. 99% of the people in this room would do just as well. I mean, it's like simple stuff.